Welcome, everyone, and here we are, January 1st, 2019. Where did 2018 go to? I don't know, but this is a new beginning and a new chapter in your book. And my name is Jeanne-White, and I'm the host at Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio, and I am also the station manager. And I have a guest today. Her name is Erin Lay, and she is the owner of Onward Productions, and I met Erin through a text message she sent me from LinkedIn to be part of a summit that she was doing. But Erin also is the creator of the Shattered Women Rising, and she's going to talk a little bit about how this all came about, how the summit came about, and how Onward Productions started. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank
you. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself, Erin, how everything happened and transpired to become a production company and become a creator of the Shattered Women Rising group?
Sure. Thank you, and thank you again for having me on, Jeannie. It's an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Years ago, when I was a kid, when I was 25, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I had 2.5 years of chemo and radiation and surgeries and all different things. And at that time, right before being diagnosed, I worked on Wall Street and had a Series 7 at 63, kind of, somewhat superficial at that age. I was very much into my Chanel bag. And then I had this diagnosis that just shattered my world. It just, it rocked my world. And it was 2.5 years of aggressive chemo. The doctor said if the chemo didn't work as fast as the tumor was growing, I'd be dead in a month. My parents, I just saw them, dumbfounded in the chairs beside me as I filled out the paperwork at Sloan Kettering, my sisters, family and friends. And it was, as horrifying of an experience it was one of the best experiences I ever had with regard to personal growth and just really tapping into what truly matters. Don't get me wrong, I still love the Chanel bag, but what really mattered with regard to my soul and with my loved ones. So forward fast, I had 3 miracle children that the doctor said would never happen. There were so many amazing things that came out of that experience, the entire experience. And then years later, after being with somebody for 22 years, I went through a divorce. Shocking. It was a tumultuous divorce. And just a few years ago. And after that, that was really my awakening. And I kept thinking, enough is enough. There's so many times where we end up, and I speak about myself personally, where I was on top of that pile of laundry. I had 3 kids upstairs, and I was in a fetal position, bawling my eyes out, where do I go from here? After the divorce, it was very similar to when I was diagnosed with the cancer. It just basically rocks your world and changes everything with regard to the outlook for the future and what kind of a future it would be. And then I stood up and I started taking those first uncertain steps, and then I got stronger and stronger. And I thought, something? I've written a couple of books. I wrote, The Will to Live, an inspiring memoir about my time with cancer. I've written character-building children's books. I've had a podcast. I did all these different things. Now with the way the online world is working, I thought, you know what? I want to get out in front of all the noise and distraction and sound the horn that there's a better way to rise and move beyond the oppression, repression, depression, and dissatisfaction of the status quo. And that's really where Shattered Women Rising, this online event that I put together, came about. That's really where it was birthed. And I'm so blessed and so happy that you're a significant part of this as one of the 21 speakers, the experts that I have as part of this online event, this interview series. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Erin, really.
So that's where we're at. I have 21 experts from world-renowned best-selling authors to wealth, health, and relationship coaches, transformation specialists, nonprofit executives, motivational speakers, personal and spiritual leaders and healers, so much more, Jeannie. And for your listeners, it's for every woman. It's whether you don't have to have had cancer or gone through a divorce, although that's a big part of it. You could be the caregiver, whether it's Alzheimer's, dementia, lupus, cancer, any kind of anxiety, depression, anything at all with regard to any kind of an illness. addictions, overwhelmed mom, any kind of turmoil that women might be in. This event is structured to help move beyond the turmoil. I say where you basically need a telescope, that you've come so far where you need a telescope to see where that negativity is, and it's so far in the past, and just to rise into a life of strength, clarity, and connection. And that's the goal. For women listening, that's the goal for this event, and I would love for anyone listening to register for this. It's free, and it's really wonderful.
How do they register, Erin?
They go to a link, and Jeannie, you have your own, so I would love for them to register through yours, which is Erin Ley. It's ERINLEY.net. That's NET / Jeannie W. JEANNE, capital W. It's that simple. And then they just put their name and their email and hit the Get Access button, and it's free. Then they're in. They'll receive an email, and the email will tell them exactly when the interviews will come into their email. And it's 2 speakers a day for 10 days. Incredible speakers, incredibly empowering, inspiring, motivating, and really changing. It's geared to change the trajectory of your life with regard to getting out of fear and anxiety and getting really into faith, gratitude, and empowerment. That's really what it's about. We need more smiles. We really need more smiles. We need that shoulders drop to where they belong, shoulders back, chin up, and just that real joy that we deserve.
I totally agree with you that sometimes women need to hear other women talk about circumstances, situations, and how they arose to wherever they are now. Me, as doing a radio show now, and you having Onward Productions and a creator of Shattered Woman Rising. It just depends on where you are in the plateau of your life. But it doesn't matter if you're 25 or if you're 85. If you have it, it's available for you to listen to these different women and be inspired by it. And sometimes you're afraid to take that first step. And is it scary sometimes? Yes, it is. But it's the rewarding piece is unbelievable.
It is. And when you see the women, and this is for anybody listening, when you feel that, where you feel like you've gone from that disconnect, where I call it shattered, where you're not feeling whole. You've always been whole. It's just you're basically out of alignment. And being out of alignment is that your body and your soul telling you, and your emotions just saying, okay, we just need to get you back on track. Get in alignment with your true life's purpose, what you're really here for. And this is feeling broken, whether it's, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, fundamentally, and that's it. More often than not, we realize that we've always been whole. We've always been whole.
Sometimes we don't realize it a lot, though, Erin. Erin, can you give your website so if they wanted to look at your website?
Sure, it's ErinLey.com. It's very simple. It's ERINLEY.com.
It is easy.
It's nice and easy.
Yes.
Lemon squeezy. It's so easy. But, it's ErinLey.net. I'm sorry, ErinLey.com. And then the ErinLey.net / Jeannie W. is where they would register for this.
Right, yes. And you have, would you like to mention some of the women that are going to be there to let people know that these are inspiring women? Just a few that you think that would be good to hear about?
There's
I know there's so many, but, perhaps pick a couple. Are you going to be a part of it, or are you just the interviewer?
Well, I interview. I actually research these women, and they're just absolutely fantastic. And it's amazing how when I actually went through LinkedIn and Google, and because this is the second summit that I did. The first summit that I did was in the beginning of the year, and I've never done a summit before. And I wanted to make sure that every expert was legit, that they truly made a difference in a big way in society, in the world, you included. And it was amazing as I researched these women. And there's one gentleman. Also, there's a husband and wife team.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, it's Heather and Jason Powers, and they're the Powers of Love. There's just so many amazing women. And again, that gentleman, I love Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer. They're just, the Course in Miracles, and they're just incredibly inspiring. And so much of the thought process of living in gratitude is what these amazing speakers speak about. And if you have a choice, and a thought it's a choice. We don't have control over other people, and other people cannot control our thoughts. It's the one thing that we have control over, and we have choice. And I love that word choice, with regards to what we think. And that's the theme throughout all of, what these speakers are saying. You can't live in fear and faith at the same time. Here's just like little nuggets to take away right now. You can't be in a state of fear and faith at the same time. When you give it to God or the universe, creator, whatever that your faith is, I refer to God. I'm the Irish Catholic. I refer to God. And, when for me you give it to God, you're not in fear. You can't be in fear and in faith. And it's the same thing with gratitude and anxiety. You cannot be in anxiety or worry and be in gratitude at the same time. Like, think about that. I want the women listening to think about that, the caregivers, anybody listening to just realize that. And it releases so much of the anxiety, because now you just, even if it's just about the pillow you're putting your head on at night, like start with simple things, the apple that you had for breakfast, or, whatever it is that you had throughout the day, just look around and just say out loud, thank you. Thank you. Before you know it, you'll start realizing that you appreciate so much more and more. And when you're in that state of gratitude, the worry and the anxiety is just depleted. Now, when that happens, I'm going to parlay that into the next. When that happens and you start to rid the worry and the fear and the anxiety, you start to feel younger. You start to look younger, healthier, happier. Your body starts to just go along with it. So you feel better, which is just so huge for anybody listening. When you even have a millisecond of feeling a little lighter, of feeling a little better, imagine having prolonged feelings like that. You feel like $1 million, and your shoulders drop, and the tension comes out of your face. You're more approachable. You're paying less for medications for anxiety and depression. You're not missing work as often. There's so many benefits.
There is a lot of benefits, a lot.
Oh, my God, there's so many benefits.
Right. I know at night when I go, I just have to tell you, when I go to bed at night, as soon as I put my head on the pillow, it's the first thing I do is I thank God for a wonderful day. And for those few words that I say, it's a very relaxing time for me then. I become very, very calm and relaxed because I express my gratitude to God, But I do that every single night, Erin. I do.
You are so good. You are, Jeannie. You really are a walking example.
It's a wonderful thing. Is it easy? Was it easy in the beginning for me when I had my issues? No, because when fear comes into you, you can't even think straight. Your brain feels like it's scattering, but as soon as you release it and release it to God, I'm just talking about me now, Erin. It really is. It's almost like a calmness comes over you. It's just like you're sitting at the beach all by yourself, just gazing at the water. That kind of a feeling that you get sometimes at the beach.
Yep.
That's it. That's what I get.
It's absolutely incredible, and you are a walking example, Jeannie, of exactly that. And another nugget is when you're living in the present, like you do at night, and you're saying, "Thank you for this day." You're not projecting, to a year from now of, oh my God, the bills, or which all of us. It's very simple to get into that habit, and that's what it is. It's just a bad thought process habit. And you're reflecting on what a great day. Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, is amazing. It's wonderful. And it really gets you to see the significance of really that's all we have. The past, what happened 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, that's in the past. There's nothing we can do to change it. The best thing we could do about the past is release the negative feelings attached to what we went through. The divorce I went through was incredibly painful. It was shocking, and it was not an easy divorce. I released the negative feelings for it, and I'm at a place where I pray for my ex-husband. I have 3 children, and what a better place to be than all of that anger and resentment. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. My life changed dramatically because of it. And for all of these reasons, and there's so many more than just that, that's why I wanted to put together this movement, really, of Shattered Women Rising, and just help women around the world on it's a global effort to help them get to where they deserve to be. Not to where, they need to be, or I want them to be, where they want to be and where they deserve to be. Where women listening, you deserve it. You're just up against what I call the terror barrier, the fear barrier. And that pops up, when we start making progress, that terror barrier, that fear barrier, it will always pop up. Once you pass through it, my God, the growth that happens. It's a stretch, and when you stretch, it's painful as you're going through it. But the growth that happens when you break through that barrier and you get to the other side is amazing. And just picture in your mind how strong and the clarity and the connection that you'll have once you keep breaking through those fear barriers, the terror barriers, to the point where it just becomes okay and easy to do it. It's not even like you're thinking about doing it anymore. It's less of a challenge because that becomes the good habit. You're able to face these problems, which life, that's why, right, Jeannie, they call it life, otherwise they'd call it heaven. If everything was just perfect and hunky-dory.
I know it would definitely be. It doesn't happen that way.
Right? This is life, and it's the hills and the valleys, but it's how, I say it's how we walk through it. When one door closes, another door opens. It's how we navigate through the hallway, through the dark hallway, really, that matters. But once you learn how to do that, and that's what I love helping women do, like learn how to do that, and to see the transformation in the women that I work with, I love it. I have the chills. I love it. And to see them go from just filled with anxiety and missing work and not being present for their kids and just, medication. I always say meditation instead of medication. I mean, if you need it,
meditation. I tell that to a lot of people. Meditation is wonderful. It really is. You have to really sometimes work at it a little bit because your mind talks a little bit. But even if you did it for 1 minute, you'd be surprised how you would feel in that 1 minute, and then you'd want that feeling again. So you would do it more, But it's a process. It's a process for meditation, but it works.
And it's like getting on the treadmill. You don't have to do 45 minutes the first time you hop on. You know what I mean? Start, and here's another little nugget. Deepak Chopra has a 3-minute morning meditation, and that's what it's called. If you go to YouTube, for the women listening, if you go to YouTube or anybody listening, and you type in the search bar Deepak Chopra, and it's called 3-minute morning meditation. Put that in, and it'll come up, and it's just about setting your intentions for the day. And it's easy before you get out of bed, and it's so relaxing, and it just aligns you, and you set your intentions for the day, and you'll notice throughout the day you won't react, as quick or in a way that you really would prefer not to. From doing the meditation. And then from there, you can go to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Right. I mean, people don't have to do more than 20 minutes to half an hour. If you want to, that's great. Contemplative state, where you're just getting into that zone is fabulous, and it's healing for anybody listening. It's incredibly healing meditation. It's not just about, getting into your yoga position and connecting with the universe. It's incredibly healing.
It's you.
So it's you, and you are connecting with yourself and the divine. Again, people might call it God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, but you're connecting with your soul, and you're the queen of soul, Jeannie. You're the queen of soul. You're connecting with your soul, and
I definitely am connected with it. I'm telling you, but I have to admit, it doesn't happen every. So there are some days, but you work at it, But do things come into your life? But with the training that you've done with yourself, you sort of can come out of it much quicker. For me, anyways, it works for me, Erin. But I know that I wanted to touch base a little bit on your coaching.
I love this. Oh my God, I love this. Since I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 25, I'm 52 now. I've been doing this for 27 years. I can't do the math right now. And it's just absolutely amazing. Doctors used to have patients call me at home, and, I had the 3 miracle kids, and I'd have kids running around, and I'd give them Cheerios so I'd be able to stay on the phone with the patients. When I was going for the treatments, I don't know why, but I would be cheering everybody in the waiting room up, whether it was other patients or their family members. If somebody,
that's you.
I'm sitting there with no hair. I didn't even have a nose hair, with my wig or my bandana on my head and makeup or whatever. And I loved it. And it's in Sloan Kettering in Manhattan, and my doctor would come in and say, the person in the other room said that you made them feel better, and they were going through something having nothing to do with cancer. But I just naturally liked cheering people up as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
So the coaching just basically naturally took off from there, and I wrote the book, The Will to Live, and that was my inspirational memoir about, my cancer experience. And from there, I just started doing the coaching before it was actually vogue to call it coaching. It was just called helping people, and mentoring, men and women. And then I started honing more and more and more in on rising into life. I was meditating, and these things come to me when I meditate, and I have these aha moments, which are phenomenal. And I wanted to help women who felt like they were just thrown down to the ground, whether it's a CEO of a company scaling and she's terrified about the financials, or if it's a woman coming from an abusive relationship, or if it's an overwhelmed mom, it doesn't matter. Anxiety is anxiety, and to watch women rise from that, harness your inner power. And I have a 7-step program that I use, and I have a one-on-one practice, where I work with 10 women a year, and I also have a group practice. But you know what? Well, I'm here today with you, and it's January 1st, and now the one-on-one is actually opening today. So if anybody signs up that hears this interview and signs up today, I'll give them a 20% discount on the private coaching. But I do only take 10 a year. So it's, it goes fast, and then there's a group coaching, and they would get 20% off that as well. I appreciate you so much, Jeannie. You have no idea, but I love it. And it's a 7-step program to help these women go from just spinning within their own head to wow, having such a better life with that strength, clarity, and connection. It's peace of mind, quality of life, and fulfilling relationships. What's better than that, You
can't ask for anything better than that, but we can all speak of experiences. You've had yours, I had mine, and mine was way back when I was getting a divorce, and I had no one to really talk with, and talk about spiraling. I mean, I lost a lot of weight. I was not going to work, but something inside of me, I just knew, in me, if I just stopped and take a deep breath. And that's when I started getting into yoga and meditation way back then, and it helped me immensely. It's just the desire that's inside of you. You know what's inside of you. But sometimes you're afraid that, oh, my God, suppose I take that one step. It's almost like, when you get a divorce, well, I shouldn't say you, but me, it's always like you put that step out there because now you don't have any security underneath you. There's no
your
net.
whole identity, your whole identity is thrown in.
Yeah, so if you take that step, I'm going to fall, and what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the things I was thinking of, but I stepped over that thing, and here I am today. But it was scary.
It is, and look at how far you've come, where you really need a telescope to look back to see the negativity from that experience. You've come so far, and it just starts with that first step.
It does.
It starts with that first step.
I
You're
remember
amazing.
behind that time, I used to have a lot of dreams that I was falling, and I would wake up. But once I started to take, because you need to take, I'll not say you need, somehow you have to help yourself to get control of your own feelings and your own insecurities and figure a way to move out of that craziness. Do you agree?
Right. Yeah. 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 And once you go ahead.
And then after that, once I got some more control, I haven't had those dreams in years since I had that. But I was waking up in a sweat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
And
it's just amazing. Yeah.
I love hearing about dreams, and I ask that in every interview, including this, about did you have dreams going through whatever it was, whether it was nighttime dreams, daydreams, dreams, while you're meditating. It's amazing what the mind speaks to you when you just quiet the thoughts. And you and I, Jeannie, have talked about this, off air, about the difference between the self and the higher self, like the lowercase s, as in, the thoughts, the ego, where it's not our friend. It just really wants to hold us back, the self-limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk. That's the ego. That's what the thoughts will do. The higher self is that quiet voice, that gut feeling, that soul speaking that we need to just quiet everything down to be able to hear, because that's the part of us, the bigger part of us that just wants the best for us. And it's amazing how it comes to us in dreams or just when we quiet the mind. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful.
There's so many of the experts have spoken to with regard to the dreams. Lori Beck, she's a best-selling author. She's absolutely, I love that woman. She's brilliant. She's funny. And she spoke about the dreams. Dr. Verma, Deepa Verma, she's another one who's just unbelievable. And just Kathy Biro, there's so many people that conquered and grew and just went on to live these extraordinary lives. Tampa Lowe, Barbara Yeager, Kathleen O'Keefe Canavas, just amazing people who listened to that quiet voice when all the noise got shut down, in the thoughts, that kept saying you can't, and just quieted everything down and listened to that inner voice and trusted it. That's the thing. We just have to trust ourselves, and trust that gut feeling that you have, because like I said, this is what you practice. The soul is speaking to us. The soul wants the best for us, our soul. And it's so much bigger than the physical being, which is so cool.
I think it's phenomenal. I just get amazed at how we can defeat ourselves so quickly, and not realize that what we are capable of doing. And it's the part for me is to believe in myself, that yes I can do it. It's the belief. And I know there's a lot out, you see them on social media and everything, and they generally can help you out with the belief system. But it has to come from you. You can listen to people and take their whatever advice that they're giving and use it, apply it.
Yes,
but again,
and try to work with somebody.
Yes,
try to work with somebody who can help you make that a practice every day. Because you can read something and it can be so inspiring and you can be fired up and get out there, and it kind of sizzles off after, it's like a diet, sizzles off after about a week or a day or a month. But when you're working with somebody like a personal trainer or a coach, or, whether it's me, you, somebody else, and they're working with you to break through that, then it becomes the positive habit that you want, and I believe that the biggest part of the limiting beliefs and the thoughts is we're carrying something that we really need to release. I call it part of my 7-step program is purging, and it's purging that negativity from the past, taking away the real horrifying feeling that's attached. A lot of people want to go back and again, listen, I had cancer, and it's important to know why things happen. I went through a divorce. It's important to know, what did you bring to the table that caused, what did I do? My side of the street, you want to keep it clean. You just want to go back and because you don't want to repeat the same bad habit over and over again. But when you go back and you relive everything constantly, or you want to go back and, going back to the giving birth thing, and it's like blaming mommy for everything, there's only so much I think is healthy in that. And I think it's important to go back, and it's important to, like I said, realize where the problem started, so we don't have a habitual thing going on throughout life, and address it quickly, release the negative feeling that goes with it, keep it as a lesson in our brain, in our conscience, and go from there. And that's how we grow. Constantly being thrown back into having to relive trauma over and over again, I don't believe is a healthy thing.
No,
but learning
you'll never come out of it if
right.
you keep reliving it.
Exactly, and that's what purging is huge. So when people start to purge their stuff, it unblocks so many different things, and then they're just free-flowing through life so much better. So when you purge and you forgive, it is like taking the weight of the world off your shoulders. And
right.
And like I said, you look a hell of a lot younger. You're feeling a hell of a lot younger. And
those are all good things.
I know. And it's a much better way to live life, with gratitude and with love. With
Definitely.
gratitude and with love. Yep.
I think gratitude is so important. You hear the word gratitude a lot now, more so than you ever heard before.
Thank God.
I believe I started hearing it in 2018, much more than I have ever heard. But do you recommend also any form of journaling for individuals, or no?
Yes. I think it's great to journal. I think keeping, I believe, and for myself and from people that I've worked with, I've seen miracles happen from journaling, because it does take it out of the thought process and gets it out on paper. It releases a lot of stuff. And having a gratitude journal is huge. And they say there's a difference between appreciation and gratitude, and there's a difference between inspiration and motivation. Like, appreciation is as we're having it, and gratitude is for what's already happened. Inspiration is as it's happening, and motivation is what you want to have happen as you're being motivated to do something.
Right.
So I think journaling is fantastic, however you want to do it. Be as creative with yourself as you're comfortable with, whether it's in the morning or at night. But yeah, I think journaling is very, very healthy. I think if you're journaling negative stuff constantly, then that's not healthy.
But with regard,
no.
I
heard somebody talk about why questions. Why did this have to happen to me? And people would write down, why, and all these, why did I go through this divorce? Why did I go through? And it's only going to get the brain, the consciousness, to tell you all of these negative things. Why did this happen to me? Well, you did this, and this. Why did? Start asking yourselves positive why questions. Why am I so blessed to have this wonderful house? Why am I so blessed to have these clothes? Why am I so blessed to have these wonderful friends and this wonderful family? Why am I so? And then you'll tell yourself these wonderful things. There's a difference between the negative why and the positive why.
Positive why, right?
Oh,
it's just learning it.
Difference.
That's all. Do you want to talk about, just quickly give the dates of when your Shattered Women Summit will begin, and is it for 21 days?
It's actually for 10 days. There's 21 speakers.
21 people, I'm sorry.
Yes, and there's going to be 2 speakers airing a day for the 10 days. But I'm actually launching it on Friday. We have a speaker, Adele Theron, and, she deals strictly with divorce. And so she's just like the prelude to, then on the 21st, she's almost like just a preview of what's to come. She's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I love Adele. She's absolutely fantastic. So that's an introduction on Friday the 4th, and then on the 21st is when it's 20 interviews, the balance of the 20 interviews for 10 days, and I can't wait. They're already recorded and they're ready to launch. And when you opt in, like I said before, when you go to erinley.net/JeannieW, that's ERINLEY.net, NET/Jean, JEANNE, JeanneWhite, capital W. Type that in. It'll bring you to the registration page, and you put your name and your email and hit the Get Access button. It's free, and then you're registered. You'll get the email. It'll tell you what days the interviews will be emailed right to your email, right to your email box, so your inbox. So each day you'll have the 2 interviews for the 10 days, and get motivated and inspired.
Really definitely motivated. And
yes.
And to
for the
feel,
new year.
I think probably for my recommendation is to listen to them all and journal about and how you felt about listening to each speaker and how they inspired you. And I think somewhere inside
and email me about it.
Yeah, and
I would love
email
to
you and say, how did this help me? And this is what happened. I listened to this person this day, and I had the same. Maybe there had been something very similar that she may have been saying, because it's how these individuals. It's how it works. Sometimes you can, there's something that speaker talks about that resonates with you, and to take it and really go with it, and then write to you, Erin, and to explain how it all happened, and how it helped you,
I would love that, and I will definitely message you back. I love that. I would love it if they emailed me and let me know what they thought, what they got out of it, what they're looking for. I want to hear about everybody's visions and their goals for 91. Whatever I can do to help you, whatever the speakers can do to help you. We're all here, right? We're all here to help. That's what we're here for. And you've been
one good thing about women. There's one good thing about women.
Right?
We really do help each other. We really do. We kind of like bond. It's like a bonding situation. But what is your email address, so I can put that in my blog?
info@erinlay.com. info@erinlay.com.
Okay, good.
And
I'll put that in my blog also. And
let me just say, can I just say really quick that you and the other speakers have free gifts also for those who register. So
I'll be free gifts. I'll put that in the blog also, that each one is going to provide a free gift
and
for
myself as well.
Partaking it. Taking care of. I think that's terrific. I think you have a lot to offer, Erin. You have no idea. This is like your second summit. You have no idea what that next one's going to be.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And where all these women that are going to listen and resonate with it and start their life and their journey. And that's what it's all about. It's your journey.
And we're taking care of so many other people. We're taking care of others. We need to start taking care of ourselves as well. I see so many women that are just donating every moment that they have for somebody else, and it's depleting them. And I want to just kind of like get that squared away so that their cup overfloweth, and that way they can help others, from a much better place. I'm so excited. So excited, Jeannie.
I think it's a very exciting time to be part of this and to, actually talk to women on like just having a conversation over a cup of coffee and feeling no negative feelings to this individual, and they're taking it all in, and the wheels are starting to turn, and you won't realize that in some way you're helping them out.
Yep.
I think it's fabulous. I really do. I don't want to take any more of your time because I know you're busy. I could go on for the next hour with you.
I could talk to you all day. I love you. I know.
I love it too. But when this is all over, come back. All right.
Oh, thank you. I would love
to. And talk about the updates on it. What transpired with it. You don't have to mention anyone's name, but maybe some people that you've encountered and wrote you an email or something
Feedback,
like that. Yes. And just a little bit about what transpires with this whole summit and how it helped a lot of individuals.
And let's get the word out. Yeah.
You have to get the word
out.
Everybody
can share it with their friends and their family and just keep spreading the word. Share the link.
Yes. It's constantly a link, and you can share. So before I close down, is there anything that I have not discussed with you that you think is important to talk about?
You've covered everything, Jeannie. I just really want to wish everybody a happy new year, a happy and healthy, peace-filled, prosperous new year. filled with love, And I can't thank you enough for having me on today, really.
Well,
You're
I'm
such
really
a blessing.
glad.
You're wonderful.
I think the next time maybe we should do like a 15-minute Zoom.
Ooh.
Huh?
Sure.
I think that would be pretty good. And
then
people would get to see. I think it's important too. People would get to see you.
Yeah.
And that's for me. It's important also because you understand when I first started on the radio, I used to do a live show down in Marshfield and Needham and Marina Bay. But in Marshfield, they also came to the studio, so there was a one-to-one contact because I loved when I'm talking to individuals that eye contact, and it was great. But I think because we're all on social media now, I think it's kind of good to let people see and get that feeling,
You just reminded me, and this will be 10 seconds. I promise it won't be long. You just reminded me.
Go
the
ahead.
Shattered Woman Rising private Facebook group. I'm going to start doing Facebook Lives. You're going to be so proud of me because I'm so tech challenged. I love the connecting and the healing and all, but I'm learning the technology. So I have on Facebook, I have a private a group called Shattered Woman Rising, Heal with Erin Lay. So anybody listening, that feels that they want that motivation, inspiration, it's not a place for people to dump negativity. It's really a place to go to for that inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. And I would love to have you there. And for 2019, one of my goals, I don't do resolutions anymore, I do goals, is to do these Facebook Lives. So they will see me in person, and I will get on there, and I'll learn how to do that texting, and I'm so
terrific.
excited.
That's
so
great.
Thank you. And I will do a Zoom with you. I would love that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be terrific. So on Facebook Live, it'll be just you, right? Because I've seen those where it's just you're the one individual, and people can text in while you're talking. Is that right?
Yes, they can chat, and then, and we can interact during and again, I'm learning as I go. Yes, so I would be speaking through the Facebook Live, which is a video, and whatever questions that you may have or whatever comments that you have, I would just interact in that way, say whatever I need to share, within a few minutes. And then open it up to questions, or if somebody wants to share something motivational, inspirational, wins that they had for the week, or whatever it is. And and you can actually interview somebody on Facebook Live. Like I'd be able to interview you on Facebook Live, and you'd be able to interview me on Facebook Live.
There you go.
So cool.
You can't ask for anything better. You really can't. I think it's phenomenal what social media can provide for us. Even on Instagram, you can do a live show.
Yeah. But it's life. We're learning and we're growing. It's onward and upward. That's my whole thing.
And that's terrific. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough. I'm really excited for you, Erin, on this, this journey that you won with your summit and where it's going to lead you down the road. I think it's exciting because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal for you. This is going to be a good year for a lot of people, 2019. I really do think it's really a huge awakening, I think.
I agree, and for you too. It's going to be a great year for you too. You're an amazing person.
It is. It's amazing. Well, I want to thank you, and I want to again wish you a very happy New Year, very prosperous one too, and I'm sure, and that the summit will be beginning on January 7th, and you'll get more information. I will have the audio out on the website, and I will send you a copy also, Erin, and then I'll do a little blog for you also, and I'll put a lot of information on there of how people, because sometimes you can't remember everything that's been said on an audio, and I'll put down certain things where they can find you and send you messages and all that kind of stuff, and I'll talk about the private Facebook page you're going to have, and on all these things that are going to be able to help many, many, many women down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Erin. I want to also thank everyone that's listening. This is an exciting time, ladies, and here we go. We're going to do very wonderful in the year 2019. Again, this is Jeanne-White from Social Connections on Passionate World Talk Radio. I want to thank you again for listening, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year.